Hey guys, it's Merrick again. Once again, not live. Unfortunately, I can't be live for a while. But in this case, I decided to make another action figure video. This one, I want to talk about the bounty hunters. You know, the fearless, the relentless, the ruthless, as the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game describes them, of course. So, what I got here right in front of me are the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7? No. Yeah, 6 bounty hunters from episode 5. The first of the first and the best of the best. And, of course, center stage, we got Boba Fett, the son of Jango Fett, and the continuer of the Fett legacy, who has gotten a pretty good resurgence in the most recent TV show, Bounty Hunter, Mandalorian, which is nice. I'm glad he got a sort of resurrection. As much as I don't particularly care for the Mandalorian, I'm just glad that he's getting more representation in the series going forward after that stupid canonicity thing that happened with the Disney buyout. Man, I miss Legend so much. But anyway, moving on forward. As you see here, center stage, obviously, Boba Fett. Off to his right, we got one of my favorites, Bosk. Is that his right or is that my left? No, that's my right. Off to my right, we got Bosk, Zuckuss, and Forlom, the tag team duo, best known for their sort of hunter. Best known for their tag team duo, I should say. And over to his left, we got ourselves IG-88, the bounty hunter droid. The original bounty hunter droid, I should say. But, Forlom kind of takes the cake there, too, because he was one of the original bounty hunter droids of the two. But yeah, IG-88 and Dengar, the angry, angry old man. Kind of see some figures off to the side there, but we'll get talking about them later. So, these were the original 6, and they have a lot of character to them. I honestly wanted to make a joke about something like IG-88, being that he is 4 individuals rather than just a single one. I would like to own 4 of them and say, hey, yeah, one is A, B, one is A, one is B, one is C, and one is D. But I'd rather not, because all these figures are very expensive, and it's not fun to track them down. This was when I bought them, before they became expensive. And you know what? I'm kind of glad I got this collection, because I'm very proud of them. Though some characters I don't particularly care for in general, like Dengar, he's just kind of the guy, and his action figure kind of suits that sort of despair, because it is kind of poopy. And yes, this is actually holding him in place. Yeah, there's my point exactly. This is actually holding him in place because he is not, For whatever reason, you could take off his codpiece. I don't know why. Was that an original idea? Who knows? And there goes IG-88, because he is kind of flimsy. But these guys aren't just the main focus of. I'm just gonna let what's his face have a little rest over there. There we go. That's a good guy. He's going to take a little rest. I'm just going to put IG's blaster back by his feet, and he's kind of going to stand there like that. So, going forward, these guys are pretty cool for the most part. And in episode 6, they made their debut in 5, Empire Strikes Back. In episode 6, Return of the Jedi, we got introduced to another bounty hunter. This is Boushh. I know what you might be thinking. Oh, but this is Princess Leia in a bounty hunter disguise. Well, yes it is, right? But she is actually disguised as a real bounty hunter who's named Boushh. And while Boushh didn't get a action figure, this is the only figure of him there technically is. So Boushh is on the list here as a bounty hunter. So I kind of use this figure as Boushh. And basically, yeah, Boushh does have the same stature and whatnot. He is, UBs are kind of, that. So, Boushh, it's kind of thrown along in there. So moving on forward, I do want to talk about, please focus, there we go. Moving forward, I do want to talk about some of the characters that are actually in the background of the other Star Wars films that are bounty hunters that we don't normally get to see. Also, we're going to get introduced to some more. So this is the original trilogy that I'm mainly going to start off with. So everyone knows him. I guess everybody kind of loves him, maybe. Whoops, there he goes. Greedo. Yeah, Greedo is actually a bounty hunter. I don't know if that is common information or not, because he does kind of come off as a debt collector for Jabba. But yeah, Greedo's a bounty hunter. And he's got a wicked, cool, soft goods cape for his action figure, which I really do enjoy, while his jumpsuit is painted. I don't know, this is a really nice action figure. I love the hands, I love the head. Really well-designed piece. I love this guy. Plus, his character's kind of cool, too, in the expanded universe. And he does get a few heroic moments to him that are completely not seen in the movie, which is why I love these characters so much. There's a lot more to them than the movies meet the eye, and why I love collecting the character figures, and why I do think that it kind of sucks that, before we had all this stuff, we had a ton of, before we had all these cool characters being produced, and so on and so forth. Before we just got, reissues of, Han, Leia, Luke, and Vader over and over again. But anyway, moving on forward. Also, introduced in episode 4, we got this guy who's seen in the background. This is Felta Pern Travag. He is a bounty hunter, but I forgot what his main targets were. But he also dealt with Imperial affairs. There you go. He also dealt with Imperial affairs. So he did have a lot to do with it. And I just realized we had a bit of flash on with the thing here. And he's kind of an asshole. He actually has a story in one of the books where he tries to court someone, and he knows he's doing it because he's a douchebag, and because of that, he didn't know that her species devours the males and completely eviscerates them with after intercourse. So, yeah. He ends up dead, so he doesn't have that much long. And he does come with a blaster that, here it is. I'm just going to put it at his feet, because this was kind of a pain in the ass to get him to hold, because he does not have normal hands. Just look at that. Great action figure, too. Great character design. Love this dude. He's not a Yuzum. I forgot what he is. Anyway, moving on forward. Also introduced in episode 4, we got this guy. Snaggletooth. I forgot his actual name. So, for the sticklers out there, I'm sorry, but I can't remember the characters' names all the time, unfortunately, even if I do own an action figure of them. So, Snaggletooth. Fun fact, he is also an artist other than a bounty hunter. Yeah, a lot of characters that you actually see in the background of the Cantina are bounty hunters. It's really interesting. But yeah, so here he is. Pretty cool. And originally, his oldest action figure, he was blue and tall, and that was wrong. He's actually short and red, and looks really good as such too. Look at that. Look at that beautiful face. There's actually has a female counterpart that looks very similar to him. That's on Cloud City, I think, or was that also on Tatooine? But I forgot. But yeah, there he is. Look at him, kind of ordering a drink, wielding his blaster kind of lazily with his hunchback. And once again, from episode 4. Oh, who's this? Yeah, I forgot this guy's name. He is unremarkable whatsoever. Though, fun fact, his main bounty hunting targets are escaped slaves. And while there are characters that could potentially be designated as bounty hunters that are not featured here as action figures, because this is all of the ones that are with the designation of bounty hunter. So yeah, but he actually appears in episode 4 in the background. Pretty standard character and all that other jazz. So there's that for him. And he's got a nice big bulbous head, so I'm just going to give him a little pat on the head. He's a good guy. Not really. He's a good guy, but not really. Not too crazy on the design, but I do love the outfit, and I do like the blaster, though. They do feel like, kind of afterthoughts. But what can you do? That might have been actually the design that you see in the movie. So, moving on forward a little bit more. Episode 6. I actually have one other for episode 6, but this might be disputed. This guy is a monoman. He is an ammonym. An ammonym named a monoman. Kind of ironic, right? So he's actually seen in the background of Jabba's palace, and I think he's also seen on the sail barge. Despite this guy's species being very backwater and very... tipped over. Oh no, he fell. Being very backwater and pre-space flight. I knew this guy was going to be unwieldy. I'll have to... Well, this is only for the video, so they're going to go back in their display area eventually. So, yeah, he's kind of unwieldy. This guy is a bounty hunter that works for Jabba, and I think he might be working locally on Tatooine. Not much is known about him on him, man, though his species is very much similar to him in design and everything like that. So I'm just gonna have him, like chill out on his like arm there, because it's the best way I can sort of put him. So moving on forward to another character that also appeared in episode 6. Allegedly, I should say. Bane Millar. Now, Bane Millar is disputed. I don't know what movie he appeared in. I think it's either 4 or 6. Definitely not 5. Though, definitely not 5. There's not a lot of, like, in the background of Cloud City. So it's heavily disputed where he came from, even if he was seen in the movie. So he does have that feel of appearing in the movies. I think he might have been a conceptual character that was going to appear in the film, but then he got his own sort of story about him. Anyway, so he ended up in the canon. But here he is. He's pretty damn cool. I love this design. I love this design for the character. Very retro, sort of spaceman. Cool blasters, cool everything. Bane Millar rocks. Though I don't know. I guess I gotta read the story. I want to read the story about him if there is one. Because I know he definitely has a backstory to him. Moving on forward in time, it's 99. We have introduction of episode 1. And this guy appears. This is the only character in the background that was made into an action figure that is a secret bounty hunter. And I love this guy's design. He is a very, once again, retro spaceman. Kind of looks like Robot Monster. With the skull in the helmet. And we actually don't know what this guy's species is, because that face in there is a skull that he wears over his head that he wears the helmet over. Very interesting, though I can take the helmet off, and I have examined the skull. It might be a Kalish skull, I can't tell for sure, but it's pretty interesting either way. Otherwise, whoops. Yeah, he doesn't like to stand a lot, so I might have to lay him down. Otherwise, yeah, he's not standing too well. Actually, I was going to get them stands, but trying to dig them out, I couldn't find any, so he'll just relax there, like a bro. How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. I'm just going to give him a little chest rub. And anyway, so we can actually move on with some of the movies. So, in episode 2, we got introduced to 2 bounty hunters. Jango Fett, my personal favorite Fett, and his partner in crime, Zam Weasel. The patriarch of the Fett clan, other than Jaster Muriel, but that's besides the point. And once again, I think she's not a Zabrak. Yeah, she's not a Zabrak. She's a Claudite. The Claudite changeling, Zam, were hired to try to assassinate the senator. Yeah, she was a senator in episode 2. Padme Amidala. And they failed. And Jango also became the basis of the clone army that we see in episode 2 and 3 that started the Imperial Stormtrooper Corps. Jango has a lot of interesting stuff to him. He has a whole video game based around him, how he became the clone template, and how he met Zam. And once again, it's really cool. I don't know. Jango Fett, I like. Boba Fett's cool, but Jango Fett is, like, awesome. I don't know. I don't know. I just like I like his beginnings a bit more. While Boba Fett's endings are really cool, Jango's beginnings are awesome. And, he dies tragically against Mace Windu in the execution arena on Geonosis with his head getting cut off. Which there's no action for that, but he does have a removable helmet, so you can simulate that if you'd like. Yay. Anyway, moving on forward. Now we got some miscellanea we can talk about here. So, introduced a bit during the Shadows of the Empire. Sorry, I get those two mistaken sometimes. This guy is Chewbacca, actually, in a bounty hunter outfit. Come on, focus, 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 focus. But, just as I used with Bausch, right? Just as I used Leia in the bounty hunter disguise as Bausch, this is actually based off of an actual character. Whoops, there goes Zam. Snuva, the bounty hunter. The Wookiee bounty hunter. So, yeah, I do kind of use him as a Snuva figure because there's no official one, and this basically is just Snuva. Like I said, it's Chewbacca in bounty hunter disguise, but, if it's Snuva, it's Snuva. The design is Snuva, it's Snuva. Either way, whatever the action figure box says, it's what it is. You can't fake it out. But yeah, so Snuva, pretty cool. Moving on forward. So this is where I'm going to talk about some that I don't know their exact origins going on here. So, and then I'm going to move on to the ones that I do know their origins. But we're going to get to those. We'll talk about the future in a little bit. So, one of my favorite bounty hunters ever, if you can even call him that, really. But I like to count him because, yeah, he basically is. This is Jodo Kast. Jodo Kast is a copycat. So, he was a rebel runaway after the battle of... I gotta fix all that later, but he is a rebel runaway from the Battle of Hoth, right? And he decided, what am I gonna do with my life? I'm going to get some Mandalorian armor, and I'm going to pretend to be Boba Fett. And that's how he got his notoriety from, right? So, he is mistaken for Boba Fett a lot. Boba Fett doesn't like that. And on occasion, they've crossed paths, and I believe Boba actually kills him. Or gets him caught in a circumstance where he actually ends up dead. Because of Fett, which is interesting. But yeah, basically, look at these guys. The only difference is the red, the more worn. His is fresh painted. They do actually have similar dents on the helmet. Once again, kind of ironic in this whole situation. And the biggest difference is the body. The biggest difference, other than the yellow, the bodysuit is blue on him. His is more of like a gray / blue-gray. But yeah, Jodo's pretty cool. I like him. They even have the similar shoes. Interesting. But yeah, talk about a copycat. Talk about a real copycat. Jodo Kast got that covered. I'm just going to put Jodo over here. So we go to the next character that I don't exactly know the origins of, but he has changed hands over the course of time in the series. This is C3PX. He was released as a Build-A-Droid, and I had to get a bunch of box sets to finish this guy. But hey, now that he's finished, it's pretty cool. So he was a mercenary, an assassin droid, a bounty hunter later on in his life. He was owned by Darth Maul. I believe he's the one who painted the X on his head there. So his red eyes. And he has I believe he has a jetpack, but the action figure didn't come with that. And he has the ability, he says he has enough upgrades, right? He doesn't have the 3PO or the 3PX series, little arm joints thing, so he can actually wield a rifle well. But yeah, C3PX. The evil 3PO. He's coming to get you. Also, he's just covered in guns. I don't know why I love that so much. It's so dumb. You do get a sense of that with some of like the assassin droids that you see in the other sort of expanded universe stuff. Anyway, let me move on to characters that have definite origins here. And look at this mess that I've made because everybody decided to fall over. Oh no. I'm very sad about that, guys. I'm sorry. But it's hard to see with the camera and everything else. And plus the action figures not being stable sometimes. Anyway, this guy right here. This could be considered Jango Fett's biggest rival. Meet Montross. Montross is the most ruthless bounty hunter ever, quoted as a killer, cold-blooded killer for the most part. To quote him at one point, a person was begging for his life, and he's worth more alive and everything like that. Montross, you're worth enough. Dead. And just blasts him. Exactly as it sort of goes, right? So Montross here ended up fighting Jango Fett on a few occasions, being a part of the Bandogora hunt to see who would be the, the template for the clone army. And Jango, of course, won. But in a very brutal way. Jango defeated Montross, and instead of finishing him, like Montross begged him to, he left Montross on the ground where a bunch of Bandogora slaves came up to him and just started ripping him apart limb from limb, ripping out his insides, and it was just brutal death otherwise. And everything of his was abandoned, for the most part, on Colma. So Jango got his revenge for the death of Jaster Mareel, his mentor / father figure, I guess, because he took him in. And Montross got, his just desserts for killing Jaster Mareel and basically being a prick and just murdering everybody. So, Montross, I salute you, and I'm just going to put you over there. You know what? Let's represent the fallen ones as the dead ones, which is not entirely accurate because, yeah, because I got some that are standing and some aren't that are, but, whatever. We'll wing it. We'll wing with this for now. Anyway, now this is a character that I know the origins of, and I forgot to put her on the Secret Bounty Hunters list, but she's worth more than the Secret Bounty Hunters. This is Aura Singh, the Force-wielding bounty hunter. It's kind of don't know what happened to her after the original trilogy, the prequels, and the the original Clone Wars comics, because she's there, and then she just kind of disappears. I don't know if she dies. I gotta reread her stories, so be reminded. But yeah, she's a badass. She carries around lightsabers just like Grievous, and she dual wields pistols and carries around a rifle. And she's actually seen in Episode 1. And she also has 2 action figure designs. One for, I guess, a more conceptual art design, and this the official full design. But yeah, really cool figure, really nice, like it. Though I do have her case of lightsabers in storage. She has a case full of 4 lightsabers. So because I forgot where she ends up, I'm just going to leave her here next to Jango Fett in the front. In the Clone Wars, speaking of the Clone Wars, in the TV series, in the comic books, we got this guy, Dirge, the cybernetic Jedi bounty hunter, who is the ultimate bounty hunter badass. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. This guy has everything in his arsenal. Bolas, energy shields, wrist-mounted blasters, wrist-mounted flamethrowers, blasters, rifles. I said bolas's. Spears. He's got flails, a lance in one occasion, and a speeder bike that he rides and leads a charge of basically IG. I think they're called they're IG 90 something. Lancer droids into battle. This guy is badass. Whoa. He also has a needle launcher in his wrist. I believe it is this one. Yeah. It shoots out little darts. That's pretty cool. And he goes toe-to-toe with Obi-Wan and loses. But he survives the encounter because he is a cybernetic Jedi, a race with no central nervous system. He regenerates his limbs, or he can reattach his limbs, because he's just a bunch of nerve endings with a head that just fit into the armor suit. Really cool design, love it. And he makes an appearance, and the only way they kill him, Anakin Skywalker pushes him into a escape pod, and they launch said escape pod into the sun. I love Dirge. Dirge is like the guy that got me hooked on bounty hunters, really, too. So, yeah, Dirge, I salute you. He gets the thumbs up. Also, he's got a couple action figures, too, and each one with different sort of, aspects to them. But I brought out this because this is my personal favorite, and one from my childhood that I remember owning, which is great. Once again, Dirge. All right, moving on forward. So we're going to go, actually, back in time a little bit to the Old Republic era and meet the person who kind of started the, she technically didn't start the feud, but she's a member of the feud, the feuding too. This is Shae Vizsla, one of the Vizsla clan. The Vizslas. I forgot her story from Old Republic, but basically she's a bounty hunter, she's badass, and she participated in the attack on the Jedi Temple that killed many Jedi. And I think she's also one of the friends of Darth Malgus. I'd have to get back to you on that, but yeah, no, but she's also one of the Vizsla clan, so, she's a bitch. Also, she's flamethrowers in her gauntlets, really cool, but I put the flames in storage. But yeah, otherwise, great figure, great design. Her head is also in storage. She does come with a separate head. And I should say, this is Montros's helmet. On that figure, at least, because he wears red armor later on, or he repainted it. Now, we're actually going to move forward in time a little bit more here. So, what happens when a Skywalker basically gives up on being a Jedi? They become a bounty hunter. Cade motherfucking Skywalker. The greatest Skywalker. My favorite Skywalker. And his hubby. Oh, that is a good representation of kind of what happens to them throughout the story. Which is both sad and, happy at the end, but, the whole sort of deal. And his hubby. Delia. That's just causing more accents, ain't it? Yeah, you know what? We'll just represent them at the fallen as the dead. Fuck it. And his hubby. I'm going to use a better... The Snuva here should be a better... whoop. And his hubby. Delia Blue. So these two are on a whole sort of adventure where they kind of became involved with the new Sith Order. The one Sith, Darth Bane. And, Cade doesn't want to become... Cade just had enough of the Jedi, right? It brought him death, destruction, and all this other shit. And he could become the worst of the worst Sith. However, his love for his friends and Delia here, help him turn over and everything like that. And he almost kills her on occasion. And this, like I said, his being a Jedi almost gets her killed. It's a whole cool story. It's hard to summarize because you just got to read the comic. The comic is really cool. So check out Star Wars Legacy for the full story and deets on whatchamacallit. I'm not 100% a lore channel, but I will talk about like the cool shit in the lore when I can. But yeah, I love, the Cade is my favorite Skywalker, hands down. It's cool that he's a bounty hunter at the start of the comic. Kind of sucks as he actually turns in Jedi to the one Sith. Please focus. There we go. He turns in Jedi to the one Sith. And these action figures are kind of okay. Not too crazy, not too great, but, they work out. I'm just going to push them back. Because I got one more guy. And then there goes Django, representing his fate. Because in the modern age, in this new Disney Star Wars, one bounty hunter, they added a couple more, but one bounty hunter stand above the rest as one of my favorites. Don't fall. Embo. And yeah, this guy is kind of poopy too. Well, not his character. His character's really cool, but the action figure is kind of dumb. I love the character. Love the design. It's not overdone. It's not underdone. I forgot what his race is called, but he appeared in the Clone Wars at first. I think he also appears in Rebels, and his race makes like a bigger appearance in the Disney Star Wars stuff. Just kind of put his hat on his head. His race makes in the Disney Star Wars stuff. I believe one character, Constable Zuvio, is the same. This is his hat. He can actually use this as a shield. Once again, it's not hard to design a new Star Wars character. And you know what? You could probably say that this guy might be like I want to say a mutant Nautolan or whatever, but I don't know. It could be maybe a Skakone. Probably, well, we need like a face mask, but or it just be a new race. It doesn't really matter. Either way, love the design. It's not hard to make a new design. This one fits in perfectly, I think. And he's so cool that I actually keep him with these guys. Because, like I said, it's one big bounty hunter family. It's a lot of history and lore. And it's great to learn about this sort of stuff. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining me. Hope you enjoyed, and this is a bit lackluster than the other action figure videos, considering all the accidents that sort of happen. But, shit happens. Hope you guys enjoyed. Merrick out. See you guys, and enjoy the bounty hunters.